Hello guys. We'll see about the white lesions that occur in the oral cavity. So this is a article taken from the Dentistry Journal, the year 2019. So they have given the classification of white lesions that could be more useful. Um, so white lesion, there are like many uh, um types which are like difficult to diagnose, but once we are thorough of what are the possibilities, um, based on the clinical features, we are thorough of it, we can easily diagnose. So we should obtain the etiology and how and its prognosis can be evaluated to treat it. So basically can be classified into four groups. Okay, so it consists of ulcers, pigmentations, exophytic lesions, and can be red and white lesions together. So like around only 5% of the oral lesions are mainly associated with white lesions. That is especially leukoplakia, lichen planus, and then proliferative verrucous leukoplakia. So these types has a more malignant potential compared to rest of the white lesions. So why they call it as white is that can be due to the thickened keratotic layer. Okay, so it can be acquired or it can be congenital, that is present by birth. So the history is also important. So white lesions are caused by either thickened keratotic layer or can be an accumulation of non-keratotic material. Okay. So how will we see whether it is keratotic or non-keratotic material? So for that we should scrape it off. So this the method is done whether the white lesion, whether it is scraped off. That is when we use a gauze piece. Okay, we use a gauze piece. So with that we should diagnose. So if it is non-keratotic, that is uh, if it is got scraped off, then it can be presence of any pseudomembranes. Where we'll see pseudomembranes is that it is mainly caused by the fungal infections or any kind of chemicals that causes chemical burns. So there will be peeling of the mucosa or the pseudomembrane. They call it as pseudomembrane. So like other white lesions which are non-scraped or can be due to increased thicken of the keratin layer. It can be caused due to any focal frictional irritation or immunological reactions, or can be a pre-malignant or a stage of malignant transformation. Okay, so and they're given the clinical pattern, like how will the white lesions appear. One, it can be a papular, annular, reticular, or erosive ulcerative patterns, or it can be combination of both reticular erosive and ulcerative patterns are seen in lichenoid lesions. So we should carefully diagnose the patterns. So this article, like it mainly gives about the oral white lesions. We'll see the classification. So here it is. So white lesions, they're broadly divided into congenital or genetic lesions. It can be acquired. Okay. So under congenital, what are the lesions we could see is that leukoedema, white sponge nevus, disc keratosis congenita, and hereditary benign intraepithelial disc keratosis. So these four lesions they come under congenital lesions, and then under acquired it can be scraped off or non-scraped off. Okay, so under scrapable lesions, sorry. So under non-scrapable lesions, they are again subdivided into whether it has got a specific pattern or without specific pattern. Okay. So the lesions which are can be scraped off is the lesions which are due to superficial burn. Can be any kind of like thermal or chemical burns or electric burns caused, can be peeled off. So the second one could be a pseudomembranous candidiasis or any kind of ulcers or materia alba. So which has a pseudomembrane on the superficial surface. So and then one more lesion is that the Mosaicatio buccarum, which is nothing but the biting of the cheek, which can be seen along the occlusal surface, like of the cheeks, or can be on the lips and even the tongue. Okay, and they've given the tissue tags can be scraped off. Okay, and the lesion which cannot be scraped off under specific lesions, like specific patterns are seen, like the Wickham striae and all, which are seen in the oral lichenoid reactions. So oral lichen planus with unknown etiology, and with any underlying diseases like patients having thyroid disease or dyslipidemia, diabetes mellitus, hepatitis C virus infection are also seen. And then lichenoid contact reaction due to any kind of contact, like can be restorations or any other chemicals causing lichenoid reactions, or any kind of drugs, medications that are taken by the patient come under, or toothpaste. These all come under drug-induced lichenoid reactions, or could be graft versus host disease. And then one more pathology is that the lupus erythematosus will also have specific pattern of white lesion. And then without specific pattern, the lesions which cannot be scraped off are frictional keratosis due to chronic uh, cheek bite, and then oral leukoplakia. It can be raised any kind of size it can present as. And then oral hairy leukoplakia present on the tongue, and proliferative verrucous leukoplakia, which has papillary growth but it is non-scrapable. Then squamous cell carcinoma, verrucous carcinoma, nicotinic stomatitis, especially seen on the palate, and actinic cheilitis on the lips, then chronic mucocutaneous candidiasis, which is this type is the non-scrapable pattern of candidiasis. Only this hyperplastic candidiasis, also known as the candida leukoplakia. Okay, so we'll come to the description. Under congenital lesions, like the leukedema, as we see here, there will be presence of white area of the oral mucosa, but it is usually among the blacks, and around less percentage seen in the whites, and it is more distinct than smokers, and etiology is unknown. It can present as a diffuse white, gray to white. It is non-scrapable and wheel-like condition, which they call it as a milky and opalescent transformation. Okay, and it can also have like mucosal folds, wrinkles, and also whitish streaks. And the important feature is that when we stretch it, it disappears. Okay, that's temporarily, and it is reappears after quitting the manipulation. So this diagnostic feature is important for for leukedema. So usually seen on the buccal mucosa, sometimes on the tongue. It is usually present as bilateral. And it has no potential for malignant transformation. And then white spongy lesion, white sponge nevus, which is also a congenital lesion that is present at birth. And then the common location can be buccal mucosa, ventral surface of the tongue, labial mucosa, soft palate, alveolar mucosa, and the floor of the mouth. How it is present? It is usually bilateral. It is symmetrical, so it is thickened. It has a corrugated appearance or velvety or diffuse appearance. It is usually elevated, kind of irregular and fissural surface. I'll show you. Okay, they've now given the diagram in this article. So the next one is the disc keratosis congenita. This lesion it appears like around 5 to 12 years, and the most common site of the lesion is the buccal mucosa, tongue, and oropharynx. It appears as a bulle formation, can also have present as erosion, like similar to leukoplakia. So it can progress to a periodontal disease, also with gingival inflammation, bleeding, gingival recession also seen, and bone loss. Then there can be a decreased root on the crown ratio, and also with mild toroidontism. So these patients they should undergo either bone marrow transplantation or androgen replacement or a vitamin E, either oral or topical vitamin E are given. And then the pre-malignant potency is that around 30% it can transform into a leukoplakia. Then the next one is under congenital is that the hereditary benign intraepithelial disc keratosis. Uh, it is present in childhood. So it can appear in the buccal and labial mucosa most commonly. Appears as an opalescent lesion, um, similar to leukodema, or it can be thick, corrugated white plaques are seen. So white sponginovus is also known as Cannon's disease or familial white folded dysplasia in the same features. Then keratosis congenita is also known as Kallmann syndrome or Zinsser-Kallmann syndrome, which is a bone marrow failure syndrome. So we should give bone marrow transplantation in these patients. And under lesions that are scraped off, okay, that will see the superficial burn, which appears as a sloughy yellow-white necrotic epithelium along with areas of erythema and ulcerations. So the common site can be palatal or posterior buccal mucosa or the anterior tongue, where there is more chances of burn to occur. So the treatment can be we can give NSAIDs, antiseptics, antibiotics, and analgesics. And then pseudomembranous candidiasis, it can occur either in the infant or in the elderly people. So mostly it occurs in females when compared to males. The common location can be the buccal mucosa, tongue, and the palate. It can appear as creamy white plaques or patches of plaques. So we can give antifungals to eliminate the candidiasis. And then the pseudomembrane present on the ulcers and the material alba. So, how it is present is that it can appear as a white, a dirty yellow white, or it can be a grayish white color, the pseudomembrane that is present on the superficial layer. So, either we can remove the debris or giving oral rinses. And then Mosaicacea buccarum, which can occur more than 35 years of age, with female predilection. It can occur in the buccal mucosa, lips, and lateral border of the tongue, presenting as a shaggy, thickened, macerated gray-white patches of plaques with keratin shreds, or they can be desquamated areas. So for this, mainly the chewing habit, cessation of the habitual chewing should be advised to the patient. Then next is the which cannot be scraped off. Okay, with specific pattern here. With specific pattern, you could see the lichen planus here. So occurring mainly occurs in the middle age. Mean age can be 55 years with the female predilection. The common location can be a posterior buccal mucosa that is bilateral. And how it presents is that can be papular, reticular, plaque-like, bullous, erythematous, ulcerative. So the six features are seen, or it can be seen as papules, plaques, and reticular areas. That is, only the white lesions appear in these features. Usually, lichen planus, we can give topical steroids or the use of antifungal drugs. So it has the tendency to turn into a malignant disorder. And the next one is the lichenoid reactions, where with the female predilection, it can be restricted to sites that are in contact with the dental materials. Okay, with the so like the buccal mucosa can commonly occur, or even on the lateral border of the tongue. Okay, so similar to lichen planus. If we know the etiology, then if in case of dental materials is the etiology, then we give it as a lichenoid contact reaction. So it presents as reticulum, papules, or plaque-like erythema and ulcers. So we should either replace the restoration or the prosthesis given to the patient. And then drug induced similar pattern, but it is usually unilateral. Here ulcerative pattern is also seen, and treatment can be we should stop the current drug which induces this kind of a lesion, and topical steroids are given. Then chronic graft versus host disease, that usually occurring on the tongue and the buccal mucosa. So how it presents is as a hyperkeratotic reticulations and plaques with erythematous and ulcerative changes also seen. So in these patients, systemic corticosteroids are advised, or immunomodulatory agents can be given. And then in systemic lupus erythematosus with female predilection, it is more commonly seen in the palate, buccal mucosa, and the gingiva. So in these patients, it can present as ulcers, erythematous lesion, hyperkeratosis, or honeycomb appearance. Sorry, honeycomb plaque. And then these discoid lesions can be white striae, that is radiating striae like the Wickham striae. There will be a central erythematous area. So this they call as a brush border. Treatment for SLE can be for oral lesion can be given for NSAIDs along with anti-malarial agents. And systemic corticosteroids are given along with immunosuppressive or immunomodulators are given. Then one more is that the acquired lesions without specific pattern. Uh, in these, we could see frictional keratosis, which can present as a white plaque with a rough and frayed surface. So that can be prevented by removal of the irritants, either sharp cuts or any other prosthesis that keeps on chronically inflames in that region. Then second is the oral leukoplakia, which potentially pre-malignant lesion. This can occur more than 50 years with uh, any etiological factors like smoking. So commonly occurring on the buccal mucosa, then lip vermilion, and then on the gingiva. So present as a raised white patch or plaque. And then oral hairy leukoplakia, commonly seen in the male population. The common location on the can be seen as present mostly in the tongue, can be uni or bilateral. So presenting as a slight white vertical bands, thickened or furrowed areas with shaggy surface are seen. So the treatment can be either giving a systemic anti-herpes virus drugs, or can give topical retinoids, and then podophyllum resin, and then combination therapy with the acyclovir cream, then podophyllum resin, gentian violet can be given, or surgical excision or cryotherapy is advised. So oral harilochaplakia has no potential for malignant transformation. Then proliferative verrucous leukoplakia, its mean age can be 60 years with the female predilection commonly seen in the gingiva surface. So presenting as a non-homogeneous multifocal areas with a speckled and rough surface that can be presenting as an exophytic or wart-like verrucous polypoid projections or with erythematous components. So the treatment can be surgery or CO2 laser ablation, topical photodynamic therapy, oral retinoids, then topical bleomycin are given. Even antioxidants like beta carotene, um, methiisoprenol can be given, radiation and chemotherapy. So this has a malignant transformation. And then oral squamous cell carcinoma, it can occur more than 65 years of age, mostly in males. Can occur on the floor of the mouth, um, posterior, lateral borders, and ventral border of the tongue. Is present as a red, white, or can be combined lesion. There will be surface alteration, that is a granular surface or rough, can be fungating, papillary, or even vericiform or crusted lesions. They can be mass or can be irregular ulceration. Whenever there is irregular mass or ulceration, you can suspect for oral squamous cell carcinoma, and there will be induration that is seen on while palpation. So in these kind of patients, you can give start with radiation therapy or combined along with the chemotherapy. Uh, if surgery required, then should be performed. And then under verrucous carcinoma occurring in the elderly population with the male predilection, commonly seen uh, surface are the mandibular vestibule, buccal mucosa, gingiva, tongue, and hard palate. So usually patient will have no symptoms. It is asymptomatic, can be diffuse, it is well demarcated. It can vary from thick white plaque with papillary or vericiform projections. And then Nicotinic stomatitis, that is present in more than 45 years of age in the male population, uh, like most commonly occurring in the palate. So it presents as a diffuse leathery, can be grayish to white colored uh, plaque with multiple red points. That is a dry mud appearance. These red points that indicate the inflammation of the orifice of the minor salivary gland which are present on the palate. So the main treatment is the stopping the habit, smoking habit. It is not considered to be a pre-malignant condition. And then actinic cheilitis, mostly occurring in the old age in the with male predilection. That is, the lower lip ganglion is most commonly affected. Patient can present with dryness, swelling, or there can be cracks, atrophic regions. There can be crusting regions also. Keratotic plaques are seen, and even chronic ulcerations are seen. These kind of treatment can be advised like surgery, cryotherapy, or electrosurgery, topical retinoids, fluorouracil cream, CO2 laser ablation, vermicectomy. It has a pre-malignant transformation. And then next one is the chronic mucocutaneous candidiasis. It can begin in the infant period and most commonly occurring in the oral as well as other parts of the body. That is why it is called mucocutaneous. Okay, even on the skin surface like nail, skin, oral, genital mucosa, and all. So this presents as a chronic whitish plaque along with crust and ulcer. So antifungal therapy should be given in these patients. And then chronic hypoplastic candidiasis or candida leukoplakia. This it appears to be non-scrapable because it has thickened keratosis, especially on the retrocommissural area. That is retrocommissural area of the lips that is present mostly bilaterally or even present in the tongue, palate, and the lips. There is white patches or plaques can be seen on presentation. The treatment can be antifungal therapy, topical retinoids, beta carotene, bleomycin, or surgical techniques are given. So these are the white lesions. I've described it. So I'll attach this article below this video so you can refer it. Thank you.